Okay. My video switcher. Okay, so we use a Blackmagic. Let me just get it out. A Blackmagic Atom, and we were so before you buy any mixer, right? I think it's good to just rent and try out first to see what you like. And so we've been trying out this Blackmagic Atom mixer, which we felt was really good, and it also came with a digital console. That means on your laptop you can use it as well. So ours is the Atom 1ME Advanced Panel, and it has been going. I mean, it's great for us because sometimes our preacher likes to put his slides up. So our pastor, they have slides, right? So this one allows you to put picture in picture, and you just have to do some settings within the Blackmagic app itself. And we record. So we tried to record all 3 cameras every service, but I mean, it's just crazy lah. There's too much data to keep and to transfer. So after we bought the Blackmagic, we also got the HyperDeck Mini, Blackmagic HyperDeck Mini, which records in the SD card, just the card from the director. That means director's card. Any camera that goes live on screen, we record in the SD card. So it saves me the hassle of getting 3 different camera recordings. Like 1.5 hours is about 60 gig if you run on a 1080p, and 60 times 3 is like 180. So 180 gig every week I cannot. So we decided to cut it and just record whatever is projected on screen or on live streaming. Then the rest we just don't record. Okay, actually my colleague is more of the audio guy. I'm more visual and technical. So let me just address all these video questions first, yeah? TerraDeck, does it need Wi-Fi router to work? No, it is wireless transmitter, wireless receiver. These 2 by itself, it should work already. If you're new to live streaming, the last thing you want is to go wireless for transmitting. Yeah. Yes, I agree. If you are really new, I would suggest just get a hard cable SDI to yeah. Okay, so to John, we actually tried the Blackmagic Atom Mini, but we realized that it didn't allow for preview. So when you have multi-cam setup, right, you are unable to. You usually want to see what the other cameras are panning towards. So we tried that, but it didn't really work for us. So we got Atom, the other one instead. Let me just type that out for you, yeah. I know all these are quite pricey lah, but you really just have to discuss with your leadership and see what's the direction for this. If it's just a very makeshift setup for the time being, I suggest don't need to go full out on the budget. You can just maybe if your volunteer has a camera and they don't mind lending it to you. I also heard of some suggestions where you can put your handphone and you like really just Facebook Live from the handphone itself. Yeah, all these are solutions. Yes, the TV studio is affordable as well. Okay, so I think I just want to share this personal experience. It's not so much technical as it is. Yeah, so when I first came to work into church, right, I realized that hey, how come only got 1 camera? How come only got 1 tripod? Then everything like so slow, very backward. But then I think as I started to work in the church, I realized painfully that it was a painful process to really respect the church leadership I really have to slow things down lah. I'm a very impatient person, so I really wanted, hey, can we buy this? Can we buy this? Can we buy that? So that we can elevate everything up. Like wow, we can make it very good. Then I realized, I think God also convicted me lah to just slow down and really just be patient and just trust in him. So for a few weeks, I was complaining to one of my colleagues. He say, "Wow, why so slow? Cannot buy this, cannot buy that." Then the day that I decided, okay, like God convicted me to stop complaining, right? Then I had this message from my chairperson, and she said like, "Oh, we let's get this camera." So it's like really, it's not a coincidence the day I stopped complaining. And I think that's a personal lesson that I really have to like share with all of you, because last time we used to have a tripod put on 3 chairs with one camera standing on another chair, and he's just manning it, and we record everything internally, the camera itself. Looking at where we are now, I really want to thank God. Like without him, is really, I really cannot comprehend where we will be without him. Yeah, so this is just a very short testimony. Oh, tally lights. Okay, so for those of you who don't know what are tally lights, this is the red light or the green light on top of the camera that you are, that I mean all your broadcast live cameras. So when it goes live, it is red. So it's not live. Yeah. So only the camera that goes live on live stream or on your screens, the light will turn red. And I think this is not too bad. It's a good idea if you. Yes, actually, I think it's a good idea. Like just now, what one of the panelists was saying is that the pastor needs to look at directly and address. Sometimes he has to address the congregation at home as well. So, for instance, if let's say this camera is live, but I'm looking at the other camera and I'm talking there, like you won't get the connection that is over there. Once this light is live, the pastor should be trained to look directly at which camera it is and it gives you a more personal feel. Yeah, once again, it comes down to budget. Yeah, the budgeting, I think, is really something that a lot of churches face an issue with. Unfortunately, in this industry, everything is expensive. If you want good, then it's expensive. If you want cheap, then it's a bit unreliable. Not saying that everything that is cheap is unreliable, but generally in this industry, it's a bit. This is how it works, and yeah, even for intercom. So let's say you have more than 2 cameras set up. So 2 or more cameras set up. You will definitely need the intercom. So we tried a few as well. We rented from our vendor, and yeah, just the director has to tell, oh, you're live now, or you're not. Okay, what kind of angles do I want, and all that. So yeah, it really depends on how new or how far advanced in this stage of live streaming you're at. Okay, can I just get a show? Like, do you know how to raise hands in this Zoom? Like the reactions, like super new to live streaming, or like how many of you are super new to live streaming? Like never tried before. This is the first time that I'm doing it. Sorry, I should have started with this. My apologies. Any of you super new to? Okay, I see one. Darren. Jerry is new to live stream. Mike. Okay, Gabriel. Thank you. Yeah. So yes, Joshua, I see you. So, to live streaming all this, those of you who are completely new, I apologize for all the jargon that I'll be using. I think for starters, what you can do is to, yeah, like I mentioned just now, first thing is to check what resources you have, what funds are available to purchase any of these things. And if the funds are not available, you can always work within your budget and your means. So if you have, like again, I said, if you have a volunteer who is passionate about photography, doesn't mind lending his camera for this, you can always record using his camera, and a simple tripod will do, as long as it's like I said, it's elevated above people's heads. And for that, you just actually need a laptop to be able to live stream. So you connect the camera to the laptop, and you're able to go live streaming. Yeah, laptop with OBS, correct. And if really no camera at all, I think the cheapest option that I found is a webcam. So this one, I think it is really quite cheap. Below $200, you can buy a webcam. So you just put it at the back of your hall or your sanctuary. You get a wide angle view, and this is able to capture everything lah. So this webcam connect to your laptop, and you are good to go already. OBS stands for, yes, John, would you, maybe you can type that out for everyone also. For us, our live streaming, we use OBS to YouTube, and we don't use Facebook because, like one of the panelists, he was mentioning that Facebook is they tend to take down content really very quickly. So if, for example, you straight away you post something, even though you have the rights, if they deem it, like as long as like they feel like there's a little bit of violation, they'll take it down first, they'll investigate, and then they'll put it back out again. But by the time your service over already, so we tend to go to YouTube more than Facebook. So we don't even post on Facebook. We just we send our church members the link to our YouTube channel. Yes, thanks, John. Okay, for those of you who are new to live streaming, any other questions you might have with regards to hardware? Okay, audio into the laptop. So audio into the laptop. John, would you be able to chime in and help out as well? It seems like you are quite well versed with this. Once again, I'm no expert. This is something that we've been doing, and we just started live streaming not too long ago as well. Yeah, audio into the laptop. You can get an XLR cable to. Sorry, you can get the XLR cable to a 3.5, and then you plug it into your laptop, or you can XLR to XLR direct to the camera and then feed into your laptop. Oh yeah, mixer into laptop works as well. The webcam, Logitech, there's a webcam that's pretty good. We put it, if your hall is not too big, you can put it at where the soundboard is. Usually we put it there so that nobody will walk past, nobody will hit and knock. As long as it gets a wide angle of your entire stage and your service, then it should be fine. Yeah. Any of you have any other questions pertaining to hardware, cameras? Okay, so what software? I use OBS to YouTube. So direct to YouTube, and it goes to our YouTube channel. Okay, so tripods. For those of you who are new to live stream as well, cameras, we usually, there are two kinds of, so tripods, right? There's one that allows you to, the thing that sticks out of the tripod, then you can adjust and move the camera accordingly. So I think the most trusted brand is Manfrotto, but we use Satchler. That one's a pretty also not for beginners kind of budget, and yeah. Oh, sorry, Douglas. Okay, give me one moment. Need to find. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm trying to. Okay, so those of you who are in the wrong or wants to leave and find another chat group, can you just leave this private meeting and go back to the main room? Yes, John, thanks. Satchler this is what we use. Okay, so unfortunately, our church, the lights, right? We are using whatever's available. I have zero expertise on lights. I'm so sorry, but let me get any questions with regards to lights back to the organizing committee. And also condenser mic. Okay, so if you are more advanced in this live streaming stage, let's say you are already broadcasting, you want to up your audio game, right? One of the other things that you can consider is to include the ambient mics around your sanctuary. So for example, if let's say your pastor tells a joke, then when I'm watching at home, then it's like nobody laughing. Why is it not funny, man? It's actually it's only the audio that is taken is only from the pastor's mic, and it's hard for them to detect. I mean, for the mic to be able to get such a wide, the audio of the congregation. So I realized some other bigger churches, they put ambient mics all around. So that goes into the feed, the audio mixer as well. And so whenever the pastor say something funny, then the congregation laughs. Those people at home, when they watch, they also know that this is quite funny. Then they will just laugh along. Otherwise, it will just be an awkward silence. Then so that's one. Yes, actually, for those of you who are more well versed in lights, can I unmute you and you want to share something? Are you comfortable with that? To John and maybe to Mike. John, are you comfortable with it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Thanks, John.
So I think we're talking a lot about audio, so that's why I started to ask about how many of you are also in charge of audio for your church, because if you want to do live streaming and then you also have to figure out the audio, putting in ambient mics and all that. So that's why I thought coming in from the step one is to find out where is everybody at, whether are we like absolute zero or not, or are we already have some kind of setup. Then also if you're also handling audio, then you have to figure out a lot of things about how do you get the audio out from your mixer. And it also depends on what kind of mixer you have, because if you have a very basic like Mackie 16 channel mixer, then how many outputs do you have that you can afford to send another spare output from your mixer into OBS. So that's what I was thinking. What's the easiest way to get audio into OBS? I suppose it's the 3.5 mm jack on your laptop, and then you got to figure on the other end, at the mixer end of things, how are you gonna get the audio out from the mixer? So that's pretty can be challenging for those who are completely absolutely new to this whole thing. Maybe there's a lot of questions here, and it's very subjective because it all depends on what kind of equipment you have in the first place.
Yeah, I agree. I think so they just said to be as general as possible. So when we go in the breakout rooms, but then with this kind of live streaming setup, I'm sure everybody is like very, very varying different levels. Some just started, some have some technical expertise in this, but not audio and not lights. Unfortunately, I'm a photographer and videographer by profession. I have very little knowledge on lights and audio. So those of you who are like more expert than me, please feel free to share.
Like I was saying earlier on, I think the important thing is get as much lights as you can get, I suppose, because you know, cameras get grainy. If you don't get enough lights, then it's like you look at my picture now, the face is just getting whatever light that's shining off my laptop screen. So the pastor's not gonna look nice if there's not enough light on him. But I suppose if you don't have enough light in your hall, then there are other issues lah, because maybe your halls are all completely fluorescent lights and all that. So maybe lights may not be the most critical thing as a starting point.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah. So this is really just for video. Like to start, how do you start? Maybe it's just a camera. You get a camera, get a tripod, and you have a laptop that you want to link it up. Then that is the most basic that you can start with. Yeah. So I'm getting a lot of questions on audio and on like with regards to the delay in OBS. As in you can use OBS to or your sound mixer to delay. So for example, right, a lot of our services, we show the drums, right? Then when the drums hit but the audio cannot match. So there's some lag whenever you live stream lah. So it is to John, do you sync it at the mixer or do you sync it at the OBS in the OBS itself?
Okay, to be honest, I actually don't use OBS. I'm using Wirecast, and that's because of legacy issues. But yeah, you were saying about the drum lag, right? So usually the audio comes first. In my experience, it always seems like the camera seems to have a lag. So like there's like at least a few frames of lag between the time that the camera captures the image and then the viewer sees it. So it's a bit of a trial and error. You have to figure, somehow, over time, I slowly adjust the delay values until it kind of matches up. I would say just eyeball it, I suppose.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, John.
Yeah, XJ has a good suggestion here. Consider using a headphone output from your mixer to the laptop. So usually the mixer would be using the 1/4 inch output. And it's quite easy to get a 1/4 inch to 3.5 mm adapter, and then a 3.5 mm cable. That's a good idea, XJ. Thanks.
Oh, by the way, if any of you need to leave, please don't feel obliged to stay. But if you have something to contribute, yeah, thanks, Darren. This is. Do you all want to share on your you all are able to unmute yourselves, right? Right, John?
Yeah.
So if you are comfortable to share,
yourself.
Yeah, if you're comfortable to share, please feel free to. I mean, collective wisdom is still better, lah. So one of the issues,
I think also a lot of the question.
Oh, sorry.
I was
go
gonna say that it all starts from budget, I suppose, where how little you want to spend versus how much you want to spend. Like Joash was saying that it can get pretty expensive doing all this video stuff. And when you look at television crew, you look at MediaCorp and do those kind of things, it's pretty on the high end side. Whereas here in church, we tend to want to do things a lot on the shoestring budget. So maybe it might help to even figure out how much money do you have to do something like that. If you only have $1,000, then it's kind of tight because $1,000, what can get you? One camera, HDMI cable. You need something to get it into your laptop. So maybe something that you gotta choose a camera that can maybe come in over USB, those kind of things. Yeah, so $1,000 is very tight to begin with, but then once you start to go from there, then where is the sky's the limit after that.
Yeah.
You can go into those kind of huge mega production with lots of cameras, with tele lights, with intercoms. There's a video director in somewhere, and then there's and all the camera crews on intercoms. But I don't think the people who are here are at that end of things. I mean, like for me, I look at it and I drool only lah. I say also so impressive that some of these places they have all these kind of camera and crew and stuff like that. But maybe from a very starting, like first, if this is the very first time you're starting to live streaming, where are we coming from? What do you have to begin with? Can you even like maybe get a basic, like you were saying, webcam? The basic is webcam into your laptop, and then it's a starting point. But I do want to also mention that sometimes the more critical thing is the audio. Even if the video is a bit blurry, most people tend to be able to accept a slightly blurry video. But if the audio cannot make it, very hard to listen. Sometimes you watch those video clips of people, and the recording of the audio is very noisy. You can hear a lot of street noise or whatever. It's very hard to watch that video. So that's why I want to come from the angle. It's like audio. You gotta make sure that you get good audio.
Yes, I agree. Thanks.
Kong, yeah.
Yeah, Kong. Thank you. So I think people watch. I mean, from our church, right? The feedback that we get is people generally want to watch live stream for the sermon. Like they worship, if they miss is fine. They just want to listen to the sermon. So that's where the audio is important. Thanks to all of you for raising it up. And yeah, I think it's also good to I mean, I don't know how many of you are like the bao ka liao. That means you handle like the audio mixer, you handle the camera, you handle the PowerPoint slide, you handle everything. But it is for me, I work with my audio volunteers. So a lot of them, they are volunteers. We don't have a dedicated audio person, but so every time we want to do a live stream, right? I mean, it's always good to build relationships. So this is one thing that I also learned. You build relationships, then you make things much easier to work with. So once, let's say you do every week, then you know which week which volunteer is on duty, then it'll make things a lot easier. Say, hey, I need an audio for sermon, audio for this, audio for that. Then even if you don't know the technical part, of course I also don't know like the specifics, but once I tell my audio guy, hey, I need this, then they'll just provide the cable to me, plug in, then they settle everything on their end. So that's what works for me. I don't know how many of you have audio volunteers or audio staff, so it'll be good to work that out with whoever's handling that. Yeah. Any other questions that, I mean, for those who are first time live streaming, first time video, you can just raise it up. Let this be more of a conversation rather than like, how do we test live audio? Meaning, like on live stream, test the audio.
I think you just, if you have it streaming to YouTube, then I'm sure you can like use a handphone, plug in headphones, and listen to it, and that helps to you can check it out lah. I mean, if you're already streaming to YouTube, I'm sure you can tune in yourself to the YouTube stream and listen. do we mix separate for live? Ideally, yes. So again, depends on where you guys are coming from. Like, what kind of equipment do you have? If you have a Mackie 16-channel mixer or an analog with 4 auxiliaries out, then and all 4 auxiliaries are being used by the band on stage, and then you may be struggling to find even an output from your mixer to feed into OBS on your laptop. But if you have like some fancy digital mixer or whatever, then yeah, then you got to talk to your audio guys and see whether they can give you an auxiliary out that you can then adjust accordingly. Yeah, if the team is combined, definitely is best. But if not, then like very often it'll be like, just give me an audio feed. You just ask them to give you an audio feed out of the whatever the stereo left right from the main house speakers, that kind of thing. If you talk to them like that, I think they'll have to figure it out. If they don't know, then maybe have to, maybe a resource to set up is somewhere that you can like post it up, like some major massive WhatsApp chat group that you can post it up and says, sorry, I don't know how to do this. I've got this type of mixer and I don't know how to get the audio out.
Okay, so I just wanted to share with you some resources. What I have been, okay, so there's this Facebook group called Pro Church Media. Let me just Pro Church Media, where people from all over the world, I think predominantly US, they share stuff like how what kind of issues they're facing, then they get help, what kind of design they're facing also, and not what kind of design, what kind of like if they have a publicity video, they just want to get some feedback or opinions, this is where they go to share it. And also there's one more that let me search for it. Church Sound and Media Tech. All these are closed groups. Yeah, Church Sound and Media Techs. So all these are closed groups. You just apply to join, and it has been helping me a lot to see how other churches also, like from scratch, they build their team, and I feel it's a bit encouraging to see how people like grow in terms of technology, in terms of like leveling up the media game. Yeah, so these are some of the resources that I use. Even for myself, I'm no expert, so I just try to learn as much as I can from all of you as well. Any other? Yeah, so live streaming is there's multi-tiered lah. You can start the most basic. You can be this, you can be this, but there's always a better, like you can always up something on. So it really depends on budget, leadership. So if let's say like my church leadership, 1 year prior to this COVID, right, we have already been going in the direction of doing live streaming. So we actually practice almost every week, but we never post anywhere. And I think that helped when my pastor say, hey, we need to live stream because our members are not coming. Then yeah, it was easier for us to integrate into that. So that's already the direction that we are going towards. And I think a lot of people are questioning like, oh, why we spend the money then suddenly go back to DOSCON yellow, or like the whole outbreak finish, then don't need to live stream anymore. So yeah, I really have to discuss and see how far you want to take this. Is this something that will stay even after this whole virus thing is over? And if so, then yeah, just go and invest more in it. Oh yes, I agree. We should totally. Okay, I will suggest to the organizer. Thank you for the feedback. Local one, like Anybody here not from Singapore? Oh, hi. Where are you from? If you want to unmute or you want to type it in. Okay, I can unmute you, I think. Oh, from Indonesia. Hi. Thanks for joining us. Oh, Gabriel from Philippines. Wow, nice. Yeah, so the two groups that I mentioned earlier, Pro Church Media, Church Sound and Media Text, it's a global, yeah. So you can go ahead and apply to join the group. If there are no questions, I'll hang around a bit for people who, yeah, if you want to stay and get, like, if you have something to share, please feel free to type in the chat. If you really need to go, time is already up, and yeah, thank you for joining us, and please don't forget to fulfill the survey that is in the link. I think they sent it to your email, right? Yeah, I will try to get the Facebook group up, and I'll try to let the organizers know, then they will just post it out on, yeah, but no promises, no promises. I'll try. So if you want to hang around and stay and say hi, like chat, feel free to stay. And otherwise, you're welcome to leave. Don't need to go back to the main chat. Yeah, this is the webinar is over. Thank you. If you have any questions, just unmute yourself and just can just start talking. John, which church are you from? Oh, nice. I know a few people from there. No worries. New Hope. Are you guys from? Yeah. I'm just reading the chat all over again. Yeah, any other topics you want to raise for discussion also can. John, do y'all do live streaming now? Like start already?
Yeah, we do some live streaming. Actually, we've always had equipment to record our services, just that we had not been live streaming until this whole COVID thing started. Then my church leaders, the elders, say, okay, we can go and live stream.
Yeah, same.
The reason actually is because in my church, because we have a hall that can only seat so many people, and we have another another area, and we call it annex. So the people who are in the annex, they have like the overflow rooms, so they cannot see what's happening in the main hall unless we broadcast it to them. So internally, I've been running video just for these people in the overflow rooms. So when this whole COVID thing happened, then it was very easy for me to just press a button and start the live streaming. Because in any case, every Sunday I had been streaming to YouTube an unlisted video just for the purpose of recording, and I store my videos there because YouTube gives free storage space, right? So I just store everything. Good thing is, oops, I just lost my audio.
Oh,
I think my headphones just died. Okay, I think you still can hear me, but
yes.
so what was I saying? And
Overflow rooms.
yeah, we were doing it mainly for the benefit of overflow rooms, and I was using YouTube as a place for recording my videos because free storage, right? So I just stream everything to YouTube and park it over there. And as long as you don't have any like major copyright infringement, like you can start like streaming blockbuster movie within your service, most of the times they'll just have a copyright warning, but they don't take down your video. And yeah, so after that, once we started streaming, the videos are always there anyway, so it's just a matter of turning it from unlisted to making it public for everyone to see.
Streaming. Hi, Jackie. I saw
Darren, you
your.
seem to be quite a Darren seems to be having quite a
Darren
lot
left
of
already.
high-end
Yeah.
equipment. Yeah, he's got like par-focal lens on an external lens, or either that or he's like very high-end stuff lah.
Yeah. Yeah, but he left the chat. Darren, are you still there? No, right? I can't see.
No, I think he left already. That's why it's grayed out.
Okay.
Why is live streaming video removed in the Netherlands, Singapore, but not in Taiwan?
I think it's the licensing
It's
with
all
regards
depends.
to. Yeah.
No, Jackie, where are you live streaming to? Are you using YouTube or are you using some other platform? It very often is, if it's on YouTube, then it's probably the on YouTube, right? Yeah, YouTube is probably because they recognize some of the music that you're playing. Yeah, so my band would play and then they would identify it as this song from like say Hillsong or whatever, you know, and so then there's a copyright restriction, and so sometimes they will most of the time it's just a copyright warning. But if in the middle of your sermon you have like some copyrighted material, like you have a movie clip or whatever, then there's a very high chance that it not while it's streaming, but after it streams, it will be blocked and you won't be able to view it anymore. Diabara says what can consider an external mic on your phone. Okay, I don't really know. Does OBS stream to Instagram?
Oh, Instagram is so Instagram is we tried. I mean, outside of during office hours we tried lah. But then I think Instagram is a totally different ball game. If you're familiar with FOPX, right? Oh no, not Insta. Is it Insta Live? No, it's not. Yeah, if you want to stream to Insta Live, IG Live, you can use your phone or like it's the same as Facebook. But then if you have multicam and all that, I'm not sure if OBS does that. If you are familiar with the FOPX, the Festival of Praise in Singapore for the youth, that time I think the media team tried to output to both Facebook and Instagram Live because the young people use Instagram, right? So what they found out was that they had to make some adjustments to the dimensions because Instagram is always vertical, right? Then Facebook is horizontal. Then when you turn your phone, then it becomes it fills the screen. So I don't know the actual technical things, but they said that the media team told me there was some issue with that, and they had to resolve the resolution size with regards to Instagram. Yeah.
So I think if you are only relying on, say, a smartphone, well, then depends on what kind of smartphone you're using, right? Then you could, let's say if it's an iPhone, then there's a Lightning to 3.5mm adapter, then 3.5mm adapter, you get a feed from your mixer. If you're not getting a feed from your mixer, then there are some of those microphones that you can plug in straight into the Lightning port. Or if you look on, somebody was mentioning Rode mic. Diabara, do you? I think you can have a look at the Rode website. How can I have the sound from Sound Mixer to my phone?
Yeah, Bara, you want to
So it
unmute
depends on what
yourself,
kind of mixer you're using.
then you can have a conversation. Easier to. Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, depends. So anyway, Diabara is depends on what kind of sound mixer you have in your church. Like I was saying, if it's an analog mixer, 16 channel with 4 auxiliary outputs, then it might be a bit challenging. But if you have a high-end like digital mixer or whatever in your church, then it's a different story, because those may have a lot more outputs. May have, not every digital mixer has, but you might have to ask the Diabara, are you on the sound team, or do you know what equipment they're using?
Okay, we will wait
There's
slowly,
a question
no
further
rush.
up about from yeah, there's a question further up from Jackie. That means we should edit then make it available. I think that was talking about when video gets taken down from YouTube, right? So yeah, if of course, if you for the purpose of live stream, once you stream it, if it's streamed and people are watching it live, they will not take down the video while it's live. Usually, I've not seen anybody take down the video while it's live. But after it's like the whole streaming is finished and you stop the stream, YouTube has lots of servers and stuff that they can go through and scan for copyrighted content. So it may take a few hours, it may take 1-2 days before the video gets taken down. And if that is the case, then yeah, then if you trim out the copyrighted content, you repost it up, then it'll be fine. It'll be up again. If so, it all depends on what you're trying to do. If it's for archival and not for live stream anymore, then yes, edit out the copyrighted content. So Diabara says you're on the media team, but still the question is, what kind of mixer, what kind of audio mixer do you have? So not sure if you know the kind of audio mixer you use in your church. Soundcraft. Okay, right, Soundcraft. So you gotta look at the outputs on the Soundcraft mixer and really see whether is there something that can somewhere that you can take some audio out. So depends on, usually on your mixer you have the audio left right channel is being sent to the main speakers in a house. Then somewhere in there should be additional auxiliary outputs. If you can tap on to one of those, I think what they said is that it's usually XLR outputs on those kind of mixers, but sometimes you might get quarter-inch outputs. I hope, Diabara, I'm making sense to you. XLR quarter-inch, you know what these are, right? So it all depends. You have to look at the back of your mixer, look at the manual, and see where you can tap some audio out from your mixer. And then you need to get the correct cables. So it's not so straightforward to give you a standard answer right off like that. But usually it'll be something XLR, and then you have to get it into 3.5 mm. Does that make sense? I don't know, maybe I Google for something.
So XJ was asking if there's a particular reason for using Instagram Live.
Okay, I don't know if this works or not. This is well, Amazon.sg has a HOSA XLR to 3.5 mm. Probably something along those lines. I hope that makes sense. Oh. Okay. Does anybody else have any other questions? I don't know. Is that just a few of us left in the room? 5 of us, 5 participants.
Yeah. Joshua, which church are you from? And XJ as well. I mean, since there are only 5, right? Maybe you should introduce each other. St. Andrews. Are you, what's your role, Joshua? Are you the media Calvary Baptist? So I assume everyone is live streaming just because of this virus thing lah. Oh, YFC.
Oh.
Cool. Diabara, you have any other queries? I think for Indonesia, no. You might need to check with the licensing might be different lah. So still need to.
Oh, they just said breakout rooms closing in 50 seconds.
That's not me. I never.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. I will try to get the Facebook group out.
Thanks so much, Joash, for sharing.
Thanks, John. Hope we meet someday.
Yeah. Okay.